Good morning. So last night, yesterday we only got into the low 40s during the day and we went into the 20s at night. So I brought everything back in last night. Tomato plants, pepper plants, all the cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower and lettuce and onions, everything came back in. So today we're actually going to get into the 60s again. So I'm taking everything back out. And tonight we're going to stay in the 40s. So I will leave the lettuce, the onions, and the broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage out tonight. Tomorrow night we're supposed to stay in the 50s at night. So I'm going to contemplate whether to leave the tomatoes and peppers out. I'm not sure if I want to do that yet, but I'm thinking about it. So give me a few minutes here to get everything back outside. And the other thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to start seeding for the second batch of the cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower. And I'm going to start some seeds of tomato plants and pepper plants to sell at market. Because they actually, they can't plant until the weather is nice outside. So that won't be into May probably. So I'm going to start those today. Hopefully if I have enough time, I will get to that. It's time to water all our little seeds that we have in here. And just remember, you need to keep them moist, because if the seeds do not stay moist all the time, they will not germinate properly. If they get too much water, they will rot on you, which we've had that happen in the field last summer. Last spring, we got so much rain, and we had a lot of seeds go bad because they just rotted in the ground. So these are all those spinach plants are coming up. They did have a cold night last night. We got back into the 20s, and in a few minutes I'll look at the high-low thermostat to see what it was, how cold it got last night. But I'm still hoping. We still got 4.5 weeks till first day of market. So I'm still hoping for spinach for that day, and I'm hoping for radishes. I don't even see any of them coming up yet, and usually they're pretty quick in coming up. But we've had warm days, we've had cold days, and but they do come up fast once they get going. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will have radishes for the first. I am not going to transplant the broccoli and the red and green cabbage, because they're going to go in the ground. I did it to those because they were having a little bit of a hard time in the smaller wells. They were starting to turn a little yellow on the side, so I retransplanted them into, where are they? Actually, that is the ones that got transplanted, and I'm going to do the rest of that tray. So let me get on what I'm doing today. Oh, and I'm also going to seed some herbs today. And we will keep some of those, and we will sell some of those. And let me see what the herbs are that I'm going to. And if I don't get to them today, I will get to them tomorrow. Celery is not an herb, but I'm going to seed some celery. I have parsley. I have cilantro. I have dill. Dill did well last year, but I planted way too much, more than I needed. So I will plant dill again. Rosemary, cumin. Cumin is mostly for myself. I've never done that before, and we do use a lot of cumin, so it'd be great if we can plant our own. And I also have to start my okra. Chives, basil. Basil, we use a lot of basil ourselves. Let's see. More basil. I got lots of different types of basil. Oh, and the other thing, that I found this one that actually said Mexican cilantro. And I'm Hispanic, and growing up in a Hispanic community, we had what was called culantro, and it had a very similar taste to cilantro, but much stronger, and the leaves were very different. They were spiky little leaves, and when I saw the picture of this, which they call Mexican cilantro, I was like, that's culantro. So I bought a pack of that, and I will plant that. Like I said, it's very similar to cilantro. I know that's an herb that some people love and other people hate. And if you're that diverse in your taste for cilantro, it'll be even more in culantro. But that will be some of the other things that I'm going to be seeding today. All right. So like I was saying, these have that little hole on the bottom. You can see they have a little hole, and that makes it easier for me to take that little seedling out because I can just stick the pencil in there and just, and all you gotta do is just shove it a little bit up. It kind of releases itself from the sides of the well, and then you can just pull it up, and there you go, nice and easy. So I'm going to put one in each. I'm going to do one row at a time, and that's my label. Put one in each, and then I'll add more dirt around it. And this is just going to give them a little bit more room to grow until they get planted in the ground, probably by the end of next week. Here we go. And this way, I found that a lot of times they get stuck to the edges of the well, and then you kind of manhandle them a little bit too much sometimes, and you break off some of the. So I'm just filling up the well with more dirt, and then I will water them well. And that's it. And I've got this whole tray to do. I hope, which I don't think this tray will be enough, so I probably got to put them in two more trays. But like I said, I'm not going to do the rest of the broccoli and the cabbage. I was just doing these because I think they just ran out of space. There was a lot of roots in the bottom of the tray there. They ran out of space to grow, and they're starting to turn yellow. I am feeding them when I water them. I fed them this morning, and it told me I should feed them every day, every time I water them, which is every day. I was only doing it like twice a week, but he said I should do it every day, so that's what I'll start doing. And this is going to take me a while, so I'll get back to you in a bit. So I have this tray all done, and I knew there was not going to be enough room, so I have 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe about 22 to 25 more left in there. Look at that little guy. He just decided to come up now. He's about 3 weeks behind everybody else. But anyway, this tray is done. I put more dirt in it. I watered it. So the tray is pretty heavy right now because it's pretty saturated. And they'll get fed tomorrow with everybody else. So I finished transplanting the rest of the cauliflower. Now I'm going to do another tray of cauliflower again. Red cabbage, green cabbage. And I had actually 2 different varieties of green cabbage. I have the Grand Vintage, which is one that I planted. But I also have a Charmant. So I'm going to do a tray of that instead of the Grand Vintage and see how that does. And then the Imperial broccoli. So I'll do those next. And he wants a tray of 72, which are these. So I will use those for that. And I might, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. Because I only used up half of this tray to repot these. I might, just for the sake of it, use the other half a tray for more cauliflower. The next one up is cilantro, which is great in Mexican cooking, but some people don't like it. So this is a much larger seed, so I'm only going to start with one, and if I can put another one per well, I will. Next one up is lemon balm. Again, this is a very tiny seed. I did try to plant these a couple of years ago with not much success, so I'm going to try it again this year. The next seed up is parsley, and I have 2 different varieties. I have Italian parsley, and I have peony. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, parsley. But you can see the parsley seed is a decent size, so that should be easy to do. And I will probably put a couple of seeds per well. For those home gardeners who love butterflies around their home, the parsley is one of the favorites of the black swallowtail. It's a beautiful butterfly, but before you put that parsley on your dish, make sure you don't have any caterpillars on there from the black swallowtails, because they will, and you can see when they get on your plant, they will pretty much devour it. But they are beautiful butterflies to have in your garden. The last thing I want to seed today is celery. And as I'm going to show you, it's another little tiny little seed. And in this one, I'm going to try to get only 1 seed per well, as you don't want 2 of them growing together side by side. It won't give it enough room to give a nice celery stalk. So I'm going to try my best to get only 1 seed per well.